The bride laughs at the poor guest's gift, then shocks when she sees what's inside. But before we start the story, please subscribe to my channel and let me know where you are watching from. Everyone had waited until this day. The lavish wedding of Isabella and Ethan was the talk of the town. The location exuded elegance, crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, guests in their finest dress mingled in the enormous ballroom, and the bride, Isabella, looked like a princess. Her gown gleamed in the spotlight and her smile was faultless as she posed for photos with her new husband. This was going to be the best day of her life. However, among the sea of wealthy, gorgeous guests, one woman stuck out. Lily, the groom's childhood pal, looked out of place in her modest attire. She wasn't as polished or wealthy as the others, but there she was, quietly standing in the corner with something in her hands. The camera recorded her apprehensive but determined attitude. She had traveled a long distance to get here, away from the life Isabella had chosen and the life Lily had been forced to live. Isabella had scarcely noticed Lily's presence. It was evident that Lily did not belong in this high society environment. As the bride moved through the crowd, she scarcely noticed her old buddy. Lily stayed, though, because today was more than simply a wedding. It was about making peace with the past, even if the rest of the world would never understand. And then the moment arrived. The gift. A gift that would surprise everyone. As the reception erupted in laughing, clinking glasses and joyous music, it was time for the guests to offer their gifts. Isabella, with her air of entitlement, opened each item one by one, her eyes shining with delight as she tore through expensive wrapping paper, diamond necklaces, fancy handbags, and designer shoes. It was a wealth parade, with each gift surpassing the previous one. The guests were spellbound as Isabella's face lit up with each unwrapping. But then Lily came forward. The room became quieter. The laughter subsided and eyes focused on her. Her hands held a modest, plain package wrapped in simple paper, unlike anything the visitors had seen all evening. A ripple of murmuring went through the audience. What could it be? The contrast between Lily's poor appearance and the rich gifts around her was striking. Isabella smirked, obviously unimpressed. "Well, let's see what this is," she added, rolling her eyes. With an exaggerated sigh, she tore into the paper, only to discover a handcrafted trinket inside. Nothing more than a dainty silver bracelet with a little inscribed pendant. After a brief uneasy stillness, Isabella erupted into loud laughing, capturing the entire room's attention. "Seriously? This?" she teased, displaying the bracelet for all to see. The guests, unsure how to respond, chuckled uneasily. But Lily stood there, her expression revealing nothing. She had expected it. She had prepared herself for it. What no one realized was that this gift was not as simple as it appeared. As Isabella's laughter rang throughout the room, the camera panned back to see Lily standing there, locked in a moment of silent dignity. Everyone else saw her as a poor, inconsequential guest, but they had no idea, and no one could have predicted that Lily's life had been anything but average. A flashback reveals her past, transporting us back to when she was a young child, living in a small, dilapidated house. Isabella had formerly played with her in this house before she became famous and wealthy. They were inseparable at the time, until Isabella's family's riches increased and her circle of friends shifted. Suddenly, Lily was left behind. Despite everything, Lily never stopped caring. She had given up so much to aid Isabella over the years. During the early days of their friendship, when Isabella's family was struggling, Lily gently stepped in, providing what little she had. She helped with school projects, offered her last few pennies, and even gave Isabella her favorite book for her birthday. Isabella never realized how much Lily had given up. She was usually too preoccupied with her new life to notice. Now they were on opposite sides of an enormous unseen gap. Isabella's laughter felt like a slap in the face for Lily, but it was nothing new. Years had created an impassable barrier between them. However, Lily never regretted her decisions. She had done anything for love, even if it meant becoming invisible in the eyes of her best friend. As the guests' laughing subsided, Isabella flung the bracelet away, apparently rejecting it as another forgettable present. The remainder of the event resumed, but there was a change in the air. Something unspoken lingered. Everyone went on, but Isabella couldn't ignore the notion that Lily's present was more than just what it appeared to be. Just as she was about to return to the festivities, a server approached her with a small, sealed letter. "This just came for you, ma'am," he explained, his attitude calm. Isabella's curiosity piqued. She opened the letter without much consideration. Inside there is a single sheet of paper with bold and exquisite handwriting. As she read the letter, her expression gradually changed from confusion to incredulity. Her eyes scanned the words repeatedly, attempting to make sense of them. The letter detailed everything about Lily's humble gift to her. It exposed Lily's secret. Lily wasn't the quiet, poor friend everyone thought she was. She'd been discreetly building her riches for years. The bracelet was more than simply a trinket. It was manufactured by the same artist who had created Isabella's engagement ring, which had cost her family tens of thousands of dollars. The letter further stated that Lily was a member of a covert investing organization that raised millions of dollars while concealing her fortune behind a cloak of humility. Isabella's hands trembled as she lowered the letter, her thoughts racing. She had underestimated Lily in the worst way. What she had assumed was a charitable act, a token for a poor acquaintance, was actually a symbolic gift with far-reaching meaning. Isabella's pulse hammered as she realized how heavy the letter was, the big wedding, the costly gifts, the sense of superiority she had felt earlier. It all seemed hollow now. Her laughter at Lily's gift had been a horrible mistake, making her sick to her stomach. The visitors surrounding her continued to talk and drink, unconscious of the storm developing inside her. But Isabella couldn't concentrate on anything else. She frantically surveyed the room, hoping to find Lily. She needed to apologize and explain herself, but the calm woman who had stood so modestly in the back of the room was nowhere to be seen. Isabella looked around the ballroom, but Lily had vanished into the shadows. Isabella bolted out of the ballroom and into the tranquil garden that surrounded the venue. The chilly night air struck her face as she scanned the path, her mind racing. Her laughing, which she had believed was a harmless jest, suddenly seemed like a betrayal. She had no idea that Lily had quietly lived a life of prosperity and generosity while Isabella boasted about her wealth and power. Isabella finally noticed her, Lily, standing alone by the garden fountain, her expression calm and distant. The full moon mirrored in her eyes as she peered forward, deep in concentration. Isabella's breath caught in her throat. She needed to put things right. Isabella took a deep breath and approached her. "Lily, wait," she said, but Lily did not turn around. Isabella apologized, her voice quivering as the reality of her actions hit home. "I did not know. I did not know. I did not understand." Lily's gaze stayed riveted on the horizon. Her eyes did not show any animosity, only a quiet resignation. Isabella took a step closer, the guilt eating away at her. Isabella stood in the yard, the weight of her mistake pushing on her chest. She reached out, but Lily did not turn around. The stillness between them was thick and almost stifling. For a long time, neither spoke. It seemed as if time had frozen. Finally, Lily exhaled softly and steadily. "You do not have to apologize, Isabella. I have known who you are for a long time." She stopped, her words reaching deep into Isabella's heart. "But I did not want you to feel sorry for me. I just wanted you to see the truth." Isabella's head was filled with confusion. "The truth?" she asked, her voice a whisper. Lily nodded slowly and turned to face her. "I've spent years creating something genuine, not for fame or recognition, but because I believe in making a difference. The bracelet I gave you isn't about money or prestige. It is a reminder that kindness, love, and humility are more valuable than all the money in the world. You think you have everything, yet it is meaningless without those things." Isabella blinked, her chest tightening. She had no idea how deep Lily's sympathy went, how much of her heart was concealed behind the surface. Lily's quiet fortitude and silent sacrifices had always been present, but Isabella had been too engrossed by her own life to notice them. But there was more, a lot more. As the camera panned out, a small group of people appeared in the distance, walking towards them and clapping. It wasn't a random group, it was Lily's friends, co-workers, and business partners. They have quietly supported her for years, and now Isabella saw it for what it was. Lily's secret success had not been achieved alone. It had been built on a foundation of love, generosity, and integrity. The audience applauded, and Lily gave Isabella a knowing smile. "It is never too late to change, Isabella. However, change does not come from your bank account balance. It stems from what's inside here." She laid a gentle hand on her heart, and just like that, the barriers that had previously separated them began to crumble. The two women stood together in the moonlight with a deep understanding. The applause faded as the yard fell still once more, but Isabella felt a sense of calm she had never experienced before. A new chapter was starting, for both of them. As the camera moved away, the final shot lingered on their faces, one with sorrow and atonement, the other with peaceful forgiveness. And at that moment, everyone realized that sometimes the best present is free. If you enjoyed the story, then do not forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more daily stories. Also, do tell your thoughts in the comments box.